Oh, my neck. Really? Okay. Oh, no, grab my leg, okay.
These guys never took bumps anyway.
Okay, oh yeah, but he gets the heat on me, bam, I'm selling. Oh, goddamn, he's happy, low lucky. Bam, a bomb here. So I caught on that shit. And Jerry, I never forget Jerry told me one time, said, Ricky Moore, you're the smartest son of a bitch I ever met in my life. He said, you out there, they did sell, they don't want to take no bumps.
Right.
Well, I tell them, all right, hey, suplex me, I'll kick out. Okay, I do this here. Everything they did to me, I kicked out. Then I get up and beat them with a small package. You hear me? Jerry said, you the smartest son of a bitch I ever met in my life. He said, you ought to be the world champion.
That'd be hard to eat small packaging.
Huh?
It probably was hard to small packaging.
Oh, I scootboarded him, killed a car crew, anyway, old grouchy son of a bitch. I loved him, he's a grouchy old fucker, wasn't he? Like Bobby E.
Bobby,
Yeah, CJ.
Bobby, you've been called one of the nicest guys in the business. Who are some other wrestlers with a good reputation?
Say it again, Father Time always messing with me.
Bobby, you've been called one of the nicest guys in the business. Who are some other wrestlers with a good reputation?
Father Time's got a pretty good reputation, him and Hoot.
Oh, did we? Boy, that took a long time to answer that. You know, I was doing an interview with y'all, it was him and Brian of the night, and they kept wanting to be, I said, I can say something bad about him, I get heat. I can't do it.
Some of the older guys when I broke in with, like Glenn Rossi, you know him.
Oh, yes.
His daddy, Paul Ward.
See my dad at the Hall of Fame thing up there.
His daddy was a tough son of a gun, boy. I seen him get out of the ring, go up in the ball field, and beat somebody's ass. The guy hit me with a dirt ball.
Dirt club.
I'm selling it. Then Paul got out of the ring. If I kicked his ass, got in the ring, didn't miss a count. 5, 6.
Oh, they did it shit all the time. But then,
About that big. You did.
yeah, he's short, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Fine.
Wouldn't know it. You make a bad mistake. Judging that book by its cover.
Yeah, I know, but,
I've seen him in action a bunch of times.
oh, man. Well, you had to then.
Not everybody has as great a reputation as Bobby. Is there anyone that either of you has actual heat with?
To have actual heat with? You know, I don't know. I mean, everybody had a few words. See, then but everybody always made up. This is my thing, you know. When back in our day, the boys, we took care of each other. We depended on each other. Now, if you got hot at them, it was all right to cut an interview, but not to touch. But you didn't see a lot. You know, some guys I didn't get along with. You know, but once you got their attention, they did. And I don't like to mention names either. I say one thing. I come in a dressing room. We was down in Texas, and this is just a story. And I'm sorry because I can't mention names. I don't like to do that. When the boys come in, he was arguing with somebody, and he looked over at me, and he told me, he says, "You think you can whoop my ass?" I says, "No, I don't think I can whoop your ass. I know I'll whoop your ass." Weight up, Bruiser Brody was sitting there. That's why, because what was a 5-pound weight. I picked that son of a bitch up through it as hard as I could, hit him in the chest. Because I knew it, and boy, and Bruiser Brody grabbed me and said, "Oh, goddamn, get the fuck out of here." And after that, you know, you got to set. You know, it ain't no rules to fighting. We don't need to fight with each other, but when you let somebody know you don't take no shit off of them, they'll leave you alone. Because they just don't want to fight them and bother fighting with you. You know, and so, you know, that's too much trouble to fight.
Is there anybody you got heat with, Bobby?
Me?
So. Besides him.
Got heat me. So, bam, so that
I don't know nobody.
Bill Dundee.
What was your favorite
He
character?
hated me.
What was your favorite territory to work in?
I'm partial to Tennessee. McGill's territory. Jerry.
You know, our small territories, everybody always goes back to where you started. I love Smoky Mountain, but I loved It's part of the time of the business that nobody, you can't even explain this to me. And like I was telling you earlier, that you sold out towns every week, is to go to Memphis every Monday night. And at Mid-South Coliseum, what did it hold, 10,000 people probably?
Yeah, something like that. That's what they average in there.
Sold out every week. It's to go out and experience this in Louisville. It's, all these towns every week sold out. And to go into Memphis on a Friday night, because you did TV there and all the fans do it, and they know where you stay at, and you get to the hotel room and it's like Woodstock. There's 20,000 people out there, man, and God, it was just like that every week for years. But now, you know, you're a young kid, you're enjoying all that, man, it's unbelievable.
Bobby, you recently had some health problems. What's your current state of health?
I'm fine now, you know, take my medicine. You know,
Look at here. Rich,
look, what am I gonna do here?
here, man.
I'm fine, thank you.
Well, that was a long statement.
I'm not on to it.
Okay, well, hold on, this still happen, I have the doctor sheet here. Well, I'm a certified alcoholic. I quit drinking, no, I did. 5 o'clock this morning. How about you, Bob?
4:30.
Really?
I beat you.
You know, one thing I did accomplish, though, and I did like, I quit smoking cigarettes.
Good.
I smoked cigarettes here until I did too. But I gave my Molly career up a long time ago. I smoked 3 packs a day for 30-something years, and I quit.
What's the craziest thing you've ever seen happen in wrestling?
Wow. Caught me off guard. I had to think about that. I've seen a lot of funny things. Seen a lot of crazy things.
Crazy, funny, whatever you want to tell us about.
What do you think, Bob?
One of the craziest things I ever seen was Terry Gordy. You know, working for Nick Gillis, he hit the ropes and the ropes broke, something broke up under. And he fell up under and them ring about this far missed his head.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I remember, you remember that time we were in Bowling Green, Kentucky? It's crazy. You was talking about, we had a wrestling bear there, and Terry Gordy, that bear, I hated that bear, scared of it. Besides, it stunk. And that bear was standing up in the ring, and Terry Gordy come up behind me and grabbed me and pushed me at that bear. You was there, and I look at that bear went poof, wrapped around me, my face was like, and it fell down on top of me, and it couldn't get up. And finally, I got out, and when I did, I looked, and wasn't none of the wrestlers in the ring. That's all on the floor, just laughing their ass off. Except for me, I'm cut. You about that building heard me cussing. I'll kill you, son of a bitch. Sticky ass. You been around a bear like that? Dude, he's tall. I mean, he stand up, be high as that ceiling. I'm not kidding you.
Well,
12
I think
feet
the bear
tall.
was treated nice at all, to be honest with you. That's why they don't use them no more.
Yeah, it's,
I mean, he was outside the VIP club every night I come out, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
what, that bear?
Yeah, they'd come out, throw drinks on him, cigarettes. The guys that had him out there while he was in there drinking.
Did you drink?
Yeah, well, I did. Drinks I got.
What made you decide to become a pro wrestler?
What now?
What made you decide to become a pro wrestler?
I mean, I've always enjoyed watching wrestling. I'm a sports fan, football fan, you know, baseball. Just want good enough to play the sports.
You know, somebody asked me one time, says, Ricky Morton, how'd you ever get smart in the business? I said, I watched Bobby Eaton work. What? Why?
Ain't no roast.
Why? Do you know what's something that gets in your blood? You're a kid. It's just like you come to my wrestling school, and to answer the same question, what do you come for? You want to be a wrestler. That's, you know, it's one thing. It's the only way I know how to answer that.
Yeah, that's it.
I want to become a wrestler because I want to be a wrestler. All right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Who do you think taught you the most about the wrestling business?
Me, Tojo Yamamoto taught me the most. Real good
Tojo.
psychology.
Tojo, he taught a lot of people. I was green. I worked with Tojo a lot when I was young. I learned a lot. And, you know, and I was telling somebody the other day, I found an old tape. Gosh almighty. It's Tojo Yalabono, Lynn Rossi. You know, and I forgot, you know, you think back, you told Joe how big, you know, you thought, God, he was a monster. You know, he wasn't that
Yeah,
tall.
little bit,
Him and Lynn, my daddy's refereeing, and you gotta understand here, you know, they didn't have music, and Tojo stood there with wooden shoes on, with his robe. And every time my daddy would turn his back, Tojo would do this. He'd just stick his head this high, that's all he did, pull it back, look here, and the people were losing their mind. And my daddy would turn around, he'd stand back like this, right? Then finally they had the match. You know, Tojo, everything he did, you know, he worked.
Yeah, good psychology.
He'd sneak up on them, right their back, go back over in Lynn Rossi's cell like a son of a bitch anyway. But on the finish, you know, they kept doing that, and my daddy's referee, Rossi makes the comeback, got him in the corner. My daddy pushes it back, and Tojo reaches down and grabs that wooden shoe, and the whole east section came in the fucking room.
Yeah. See the bullshit?
You think I'm too bullshit? Yeah, I just reached down and picked the shoe up. Here they all come. Held my daddy and Tojo and fighting like hell. Get out of that ring, man. Lynn Rossi like me over the corner. I used to y'all look.
Yeah.
I used to watch some of the greatest riots. And I'm serious. I did. People believed. Not just one night, but this is every night. And that's one of the rules that Bill Watts made. That's the reason he made this. You couldn't leave this building to the matches room. And the reason he did that for is because, dude, I mean, yeah, we had people hit the ring. And I ain't talking about one or two. I'm talking sometimes there'll be 10, 15 people come through them ropes and watch y'all out there. And I couldn't do nothing because all they do was sit in the turnbuckle on the mat and watch. I didn't miss shit either. I had to close.
You're fine if you did, wouldn't we?
Oh, yes.
We would help you guys.
I know it, the bad guys.
What are some of the best ribs that you ever saw pulled?
Oh, I've done this one before too, but one of the best ones when they used to bring with Jimmy Cornette, matter of fact, they brought goddamn Doug Dillinger, police officer, and he did something that he got the police officer to come in the dressing room, arrest Jimmy for statutory rape. You remember that?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. They come in there to get him, and baby doll was over there. And buddy, I'm telling you, it's just, she got the laughing. And they got him handcuffed. What are you laughing at, you goddamn whore? This ain't talking. I'm going, son of a bitch, boy. He's cutting interviews on her and everybody around there. And it was a rib. I pulled that rib before too.
I was there one night when you did it, one guy up in Spartanburg or somewhere.
That was Jeff Lewis.
Yeah.
Remember that? Jeff Lewis.
What?
Jeff Lewis, he was one of the Rise guys on the radio. And this fucker called me like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm sound asleep. Same thing like we did. Remember when James, my car broke down the other day, I just left it. You see my old car out there? I left it. James had it towed over here. I took it out. So he called me 4 o'clock in the morning and asked me, you know, act like he was a police officer about my car on the side of the road. Did you leave a car on the side of the road? Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I got kind of pissed off. Shut up. I didn't know, but I was lying on the radio. So, all right, you want to do a rib? I get a rib. I did a little research on him. I found out his real name and one of his old girlfriends. So I got one of my buddy Ricky's a sheriff down there. Buddy, he had a SWAT team. They come in there. And this guy, he ought to won an Academy Award the day I'm a police officer. He walked in with Jeff Lewis, and I forgot Jeff's last name, but he asked him, he sat down real quiet beside us and said, "You Jeff so-and-so?" He said, "Yeah." He goes, "Listen, guy. There's this girl out of Asheville, North Carolina." And he mentioned her name. He said, "Yeah, I know her." He says, "Yeah, we got a warrant on you for statutory rape." Oh my God, he turned a different color. I don't give a bullshit what he tell anybody else. And the guy told me, says, "Listen, we could do this. We just get up real nice and easy and walk out of here and nobody know nothing." He said, "Or I could drag your ass right through all these people because you're going to jail." Holy shit. And I'm sitting down, and I'm sitting over beside him, and I reached over to him, I says, damn, Jeff. I said, well, you better get you a good lawyer, or don't ever fuck with Ricky Morton again. Oh, yeah, man. And that police officer busted out laughing. And then, but it's, just ribs. But I got that when I seen it done on Jimmy Cornette.
Bobby, you have any ribs you want?
No.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Go for it, buddy.
What's that? What did he ask you?
I asked him if he had any ribs and he wanted to tell us about.
And Bobby never did pull ribs. You know, I seen a lot of guys do. One thing I don't ever do is mess with people. But I seen, not some of them wasn't ribs. I seen some guys hit people with bags.
Oh, yeah. Cornette.
Dude, yeah, you know, guys that didn't like them, you know, like shitting their back, shitting their shoes. I remember I was leaving the territory back when I was going to Texas. I came back and all my shit was stapled on the wall. Somebody had to staple just like my shirt and my pants and my socks, and even my damn shoes were nailed to the fucking wall.
They had a bad problem with that in WWE, with WWF at the time, when they first started. You know, I can't think who it was, maybe the Rougeos or somebody.
Jock, Rougeau.
Yeah, some of them, yeah, somebody got their ass whooped.
Dynamite Kid used to cut up people's clothes with scissors
Well,
while they
maybe
were out
one of
the
them.
When you see Dynamite Kid, they didn't want to fuck with him anymore. He beat your ass.
Now, could you come back from the ring, one of your legs be cut off of them dress pants?
Oh, yeah. I did that to Kitty Wayne one time. Kitty Wayne put itching powder in my pants. Son of a bitch, I put them on. Goddamn. And I had to wear my, you know, like that time I wore short tights.
Yeah.
I had to wear my short tights home, cold, winter time. And that's what I did to him. Well, I went to the dresser and cut both the legs off this damn pants. It was winter time too, so he went home with a pair of shorts on too.
What do you think about the current state of pro wrestling?
The current state of pro wrestling.
Just, what do you
Well,
think
buddy, you
about
know, it's, over the 40 years, I've seen the business change a lot. To where you had no music, you had music, to where, you know, you didn't even wear knee pads. Remember long time ago, wrestling would wear knee pads. You know, things changed as we went. You know, I'm glad for the boys today. I mean, they make a lot of money. A lot of them become movie stars. A lot of them did this, and the business accommodated to them. It's nothing you could do. I mean, for this time of day, that's what wrestling is on the big stage, and that's what you got to prepare yourself for to be that. I love the business. I love it any way it is.
I still watch it every time I get a chance to.
Well, you
I
just
just
want
watch
to
it
see
walk
if
out the door and
you just
leave it
want to see if you're on it. Thank you, son. Thank you.
I don't want somebody's getting beat. The easy way or the hard way.
Excuse me, there, Carl Dodge. Huh? Well, tell me what it
I
was
got two
like.
managers out here.
Tell me what
Jack
it was-
Strange, Ron Thompson.
Tell me what it's like wrestling Stringer.
I wrote both of them's career. One, not Dean.
What was it like wrestling Stringer Lewis?
It was good, Ricky. It's like I'm wrestling you. Old wool tights, you had the same thing. Damn, Carl.
Look at your ass be hanging like a big turd at the bottom of them. They wore shit they wore then.
Ricky, talk about your wrestling school.
Talk about my wrestling school. Well, we're sitting here in, we have a wall here. You got the ceiling, we're sitting in the ring dog.
Hey, buddy, used to be his wrestling school.
What is
After
it?
that, it's gonna be mine.
Why?
School of Eaton.
Well, since you're talking to our friend James,
My friend James.
well, used to be my friend James, he did this for me. Something I always wanted in my life. And when I'm sitting here, James, I'm thinking I'm stooging. No, but he gave me a dream in my life. We started out, and you, right here, you can't see, but the wall used to be right there, it went up here. Just a little bitty thing, a homemade ring. And dude, we built this thing together. worked hard. We have 3 rooms, we have a dungeon, all the stuff on the walls. To me, it's a dream come true. It's a dream for me, for my students to come in, and sometimes I get lost in what I'm doing because I'm just sit back and watching. And just watching how the guys learn and how they progress. And every one of them, you know, and now it's because we have a new guy to start. He can't even hit the ropes.
No.
But you understand me? It was like that with everybody. When they first come, they couldn't hit the ropes. But now they're so good. All my students, they're great tonight.
You ever see how they hit the rope? When they do that, they almost break their neck, you know? They
Yeah, but you know, when they
whiplash.
first started, you know, just to see it, and it's like tonight, all the matches are the guys from our school.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that just to watch them, how they progress and how they win. And if anybody's out there, you know, I don't have the answers to everything. But one thing I can say, I got the best damn wrestling school in the country. But it took a lot of people to help me get this.
Later today.
You need to come to it. Stooge.
Get you
It's the only reason you got to break this because he's a stooge. You're George Gildas. You know, his name used to be Bobby Gildas. George Bobby Gildas. Hey, a lot of people out in the wrestling world don't know what the hell I was just talking about. You know what? They should have. They ought to have had a program coming up in this business since you had to work for George and Nick to understand what the. It's like Bobby was talking about earlier. He saved my job any time. Oh, I got fired all the time. And I'm serious. If I pissed George off, my DOS if you'd go down in the match. He beat me. And, no, it wouldn't.
Ricky pulled from the wrong team.
Yeah.
In Vanderbilt somewhere.
Sure did. Was somewhere I pulled for the wrong team. That ended up playing Tennessee. That's for Tennessee. He fired me.
Later today, you'll be wrestling each other in Bobby's final match. Tell us about the match. Just,
Well, if I tell you that, I have to kill you. You know, it's.
I mean, just tell us about working Bobby in his last match, Ricky.
Is this your last match, Bobby? Yes, it is.
No, of course.
My last match.
School of Eden.
It's
Sounds good already.
it's
I take Hoop's picture
All right.
down, your picture down, one of your 10,000 pictures you got up of yourself.
you asshole.